There is a moment in every conversation where the ground shifts beneath you. You don't notice it at first. The tone is calm, the words sound harmless, and yet something inside you tightens, as if you were walking into a room with no doors. This is how liars operate. They don't attack you head-on. They guide you into psychological traps disguised as innocent questions. Most people never recognize these traps until it's too late and they're already defending themselves, doubting their own memory, or apologizing for something they didn't do. But today, you will see these traps clearly. Because once you understand the Stoic truth behind them, you become untouchable. The Stoics understood human deception better than most modern psychologists. They observed how manipulative people twist language to control the emotions and reactions of others. And while times have changed, the tactics have not. Liars still rely on subtle questions designed to shift blame, trigger guilt, or create confusion. This matters because your peace depends on your ability to recognize psychological traps before they pull you in. Marcus Aurelius taught that your mind remains free the moment you refuse to give falsehood a place to root itself. Seneca warned that deception thrives only where there is haste, fear, or emotional reactivity. Today, you will learn 4 specific questions liars use to corner you. Once you see these traps for what they are, you gain the clarity to remain calm, firm, and unmovable. Number 1. Why are you overreacting? The emotional trap. This question is the favorite weapon of manipulators. It sounds simple, but its purpose is deadly. To flip the situation so you start defending your emotions instead of addressing their behavior. When someone asks, "Why are you overreacting?" they're not seeking understanding. They're trying to make you question your own perception. Liars use this tactic to shrink your confidence and make their wrongdoing seem smaller. Suddenly, the focus is no longer on what they did, it's on how you feel, as if your emotions are the real problem. This trap creates emotional damage because it rewires the direction of blame. You walk away wondering if you truly exaggerated, even when your reaction was completely justified. Over time, this erodes your self-trust. And that is exactly what manipulative people want, for you to doubt yourself while they remain unchallenged. The Stoics warned against allowing others to dictate our emotional reality. Epictetus said, "If someone provokes you, realize it is your own opinion that you are being harmed." The wisdom here is not to suppress emotion, but to refuse emotional distortion. Your reaction is not the issue, their behavior is. The Stoic response is simple. Stay anchored. Say, "My reaction is based on facts. Let's address what actually happened." This shifts the power back to you and destroys the trap. You're not debating your feelings, you're naming the truth. Closing line. Never let someone shame you for noticing what they hoped you wouldn't see. Number 2. So you think I'm the bad guy? The guilt trap. This is the question manipulators use when they feel the truth closing in on them. It's designed to make you feel cruel for holding them accountable. When a liar says, "So you think I'm the bad guy?" they're forcing you into a defensive posture. Instead of standing firm, you begin reassuring them, softening your stance, or explaining yourself. They weaponize your empathy to escape responsibility. The psychological trick here is powerful. By painting themselves as the victim, they make you hesitate. You don't want to label them the villain, so you step back emotionally. This allows them to blur the issue, twist facts, and eventually rewrite the entire conflict. This trap creates emotional damage because it turns accountability into cruelty. It conditions you to avoid confrontation, to swallow your discomfort, and to forgive too quickly, often at the cost of your own well-being. The Stoics understood this dynamic with brutal clarity. Seneca wrote, "He who excuses himself accuses himself." Manipulators rely on your desire to be fair, but fairness does not mean surrender. Stoic wisdom teaches that truth stands on its own, even when someone tries to twist it into an attack. The firm Stoic response is this: this isn't about good or bad, it's about what happened. This prevents the liar from shifting into victim mode and forces the conversation to remain grounded in reality. Closing line: when someone tries to guilt you for recognizing the truth, recognize they fear the light more than they value the relationship. Number 3. Can you prove that? The doubt trap. Liars love this question because it changes the battlefield. Instead of facing the truth, they challenge your ability to provide evidence. Can you prove that? is not a request for clarity, it's a strategy to undermine your confidence. Manipulators know that most human interactions rely on memory, subtle behavior, and emotional patterns, things that don't come with screenshots or witnesses. By demanding proof, they shift the burden onto you while they hide behind technicalities. This trap creates emotional damage because it makes you distrust your own intuition. You start second-guessing what you saw, heard, or felt. And in that confusion, the liar finds safety. They know the goal isn't to disprove you, it's to exhaust you. The Stoics, however, taught that clarity doesn't depend on external validation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The truth does not change according to our ability to stomach it." In Stoic philosophy, your perception, when grounded in reason, not emotion, is a legitimate source of truth. The Stoic response is calm and sharp. I don't need to prove what I clearly observed. This refuses the liar's attempt to shift the terms of the conversation. You stand firm in your own clarity rather than playing their game. Closing line, a liar's greatest fear is a person who trusts their own perception more than their pressure tactics. Number 4. If you knew me, you'd know I'd never do that, the identity trap. This question is designed to weaponize your relationship with the liar. When someone says, if you knew me, you'd know I'd never do that, they're not appealing to logic, they're appealing to your loyalty. It's a psychological sleight of hand meant to make you feel disloyal, unkind, or distrustful for noticing their behavior. Instead of addressing what they did, they demand that you judge them based on who they claim to be. Manipulators love this tactic because it protects their self-image. They wrap themselves in the idea of their own character, forcing you to choose between your intuition and the version of themselves they want you to believe. The emotional damage this creates is deep. It teaches you to ignore evidence in favor of emotional attachment. It convinces you to silence your own awareness for the sake of preserving peace. The Stoics warned against being blinded by idealized identities. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "To understand the true quality of people, you must look into their minds and examine their motives." Stoicism teaches that character is revealed through action, not self-description. A person's claim about who they are is irrelevant compared to what they repeatedly do. The Stoic response is steady and unshaken. Your actions speak for themselves. This refuses to participate in the illusion. It brings the conversation back to facts instead of emotional manipulation. Closing line. Anyone who demands you trust their reputation over your reality is already telling you who they truly are. These 4 traps, emotional, guilt-based, doubt-inducing, and identity-focused, are the weapons liars use to keep you off balance. They are subtle, polished, and often disguised as honest questions. But now you see them for what they are: psychological strategies meant to shift blame, cloud your clarity, and weaken your sense of truth. The Stoics understood that freedom begins with perception. When you can see the traps clearly, you are no longer inside them. Inner strength is not loud or aggressive. It is calm, aware, and grounded. It is the ability to stand firm in what you know without being dragged into emotional quicksand. This clarity is the heart of Stoic maturity. You do not need to argue, justify, or over-explain. You simply remain aligned with reality. Today, choose one principle to apply. Pause before responding to any question that feels like a trap. Ask yourself, is this person seeking truth or control? That single moment of awareness can protect your peace more than 100 arguments. Remember, the Stoic path is not about winning battles. It is about remaining unshaken in the presence of deception. Let that be your strength. If this message brought clarity to your life, you're welcome to join us here on the channel as we continue exploring Stoic strength and psychological truth. Tell me in the comments which of the 4 traps you'll avoid from now on. Your awareness is your armor, and your growth is your responsibility. Stay steady, stay honest, and walk with the calmness of someone who knows the truth.